Hey everyone, this is KJ back from Back in the Game Collectibles. We're going to do something different today. So it's not going to be a break. It's not going to be a product reveal. It's not going to be a PSA reveal. Not showing off any cards. I'm about to have a very frank and honest discussion that I've had over like the last month with a few different people. And I think it's something that is going to definitely be a big deal in a few months, roughly 7 months. Um, and I say that because I know a lot of people are trying to like forecast what cars to get and like how to get ahead of the game. And I think I don't necessarily, well, I guess we can say vintage. We can say vintage and we can say modern if we're considering modern to be the 80s and 90s cars. We just saw a recent boom. Um, Jordan cars spike. We saw Magic. I mean, dude, we were seeing junk wax era cars like 90 hoops, 90 skybox, no, 91 skybox, upper deck. We're seeing like a price surge in like all these cars, including like, the 80 stuff as well, which is expected because I mean, those cars are now 30 to 40 years old. So yeah, I mean, that's expected. But I'm predicting, and I'm calling it out now because I don't really see anybody else talking about it. And I'm trying to get myself ready and prepared for this because the cars defined in like great condition that are 30 to 40 years old, and not only great condition, but also centered. It's even though we call it a junk wax era, they're scarce because I can tell you now, I grew up in the 90s collecting cars and I didn't take care of my stuff. I didn't put my stuff in top loaders. We had these little hard plastic cases that were kind of like one touches or screw downs. I mean, we kept like our good stuff in some of those. Everything else we threw in a binder. Anything we didn't want, we threw in a shoebox. So it's going to be hard to find some of these cars. So that's why I'm really looking now. But you got to think about it. In 7 months, we're going to be starting the 75th anniversary of the NBA. Now, some of you might be close to my age and can actually remember in 1996 when we did NBA at 50. 50 greatest players of what they or whoever considered to be the 50 greatest players of all time were celebrated that year. Everybody came out on the court. Everybody got, I don't know what kind of certificate or whatever, trophy, medal, medallion, I don't know. But we celebrated a top 50. And even during that time, there were a lot of players that I liked that weren't mentioned in that top 50. So if we're coming upon the 75th anniversary, what's going to happen? We've had 25 years, and I can guarantee you we've had 25 great players that, in my opinion, could be in the top 50 of all time. Not 75, but all time. So the argument and discussion that I've been having lately is, will anybody get bumped out of that top 50 and move further down that list? And if we actually have more than 25 players that are way better than a lot of the players that were in the top 50, are we going to see anybody exit the top 75 players of all time? Like, we're going to see people that were in the 50 not be in the 50 or not be in the 75 whenever they announce who those players are. So let's go through this list. So here you see picture of all 50 guys, right? Now, we all know who Kareem is. Some of us know who Nate Tiny Archibald is. I have no idea who Paul Arizin is. We know Barkley. Rick Barry, he may or may not make it. Elgin Baylor may make it. Dave Bean may make it. Don't know. I think Larry Legend is probably locked. Will Chamberlain is locked. Bob Cousy might be locked. Dave Cowens, I have no idea who that is. I don't know who Bill Cunningham is. I don't know who Dave something is. Clyde the Glide, we know. Julius Erving, Patrick Ewing. I think for the most part, those guys are locked. I mean, Julius Erving is definitely locked. Clyde Drexler, he's probably going to be top 75. Ewing, top 75. Walt Frazier, I don't know. George Gervin, I don't know how great, I don't know who he is. John Havlicek, I don't know if that was a guy that played with Stockton in Utah. I can't remember, but I don't know. Elvin Hayes, I don't know. Magic, guaranteed. Sam Jones, I have no idea who the hell that is either. Michael Jordan, nah, he's not yet. He's gonna make it. Jerry Lucas, Karl Malone, I would say would make it for sure. Moses Malone, I would say is a sure bet. Pistol Pete, I would say is a sure bet, even though he had injury, career cut short, but I say he would be in there. Kevin McHale, I didn't think Kevin McHale was a great player then. I mean, all right, look, let's be honest. A majority of the guys that are on this list were great for their time period. The 60s and the 70s did not have guys that were as athletic, were as dominating as we have had in the last 25 years. Let's just be honest about that. Okay. So I don't see how some of these guys will be on that list. But let's continue. George Mikan. I've never seen this dude play. I just know when you're looking in the Beckett magazine as a kid, his rookie card was always the most expensive one. Michael Jordan was always like $600. Nobody talks about George Mikan anymore. I don't know anybody that brings him up as a card that you must have. All right, Earl Monroe, maybe. Akeem, definitely. Shaq. I mean, Shaq should be probably higher on the list because consider the fact that he made the list in 1996 and he had only been in the NBA for 4 years at that point. That tells you the kind of player that Shaq is or the impact that he had on the league. And honestly, and this is completely off topic, I do not understand why ultra modern cars like Zion, Luka, or anybody else, unless it's a patch, unless it's a number card, is worth more than any of Shaquille O'Neal rookie cards. I do not get that. I do not understand, but it is what it is. Back to this. Robert Parrish was never that good to me. I don't know who Bob Pettit is. Scottie Pippen is definitely going to be on that list. Willis Reed, Oscar Robertson is definitely going to be on this list. David Robinson is going to be on that list. Bill Russell, solid lock-in. I don't know who Dolph Schayes or Bill Sharman. John Stockton, we all know, guaranteed. Isaiah Thomas, you know what, man, dude, I hate the Pistons. I don't know if he should be on this list. I know his career was cut short due to injury. Honestly, I don't care because I don't like the Pistons, but maybe. It's hard for me to say that he's one of the greatest guards of all time. I I don't care how many championships they got. I mean, they only got 2, but I don't care. All right. Anyway, so what? Nate Thurman? No, probably not. I can't see Wes Unseld being on there. Bill Walton, trash, trashity trash, garbage man, trash. He wasn't. He was decent in the 70s as a basketball player. I don't get how he made this list. Lenny Wilkins, decent coach. I don't think he makes top. I don't see how he's in the top 50. You know what? All right, and James Worthy, cool. Like, I think he should be on there. But I think a lot of these guys, like, if you look at this list, almost half of the guys are guys that were drafted from like 84 to like 92. That's it. The other half, like from the 70s, the only ones that you got that probably made a big difference from the 60s and the 70s is Jerry West, Will Chamberlain, Kareem, and Bill Russell. Those are your biggest names right there from the 60s and Dr. J. That's it. Like the rest of these guys, I feel like they were just fillers. All right, so what I want to do is I'm going to pull up another screen because I feel that we really need to take a look at some other guys. So Sports Illustrated did a top 20 NBA players of the last 20 years, right? And they put this out there in 2016, which we can run with this because I don't feel anybody as of yet can say they're going to be in the top 75. I mean, Luka is turning out to be a beast with the amount of triple doubles that he's putting up. We can have that conversation in like 5 years whether or not he missed it and probably should have been added or not. I mean, we'll see. Time will tell. All right. Tracy McGrady. Yeah, dude. He's easily top 75. I will put him in the top 50 players of all time. Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller, I think, was drafted in 87. This list came out in 96, and they did not have him on this list. He's one of the greatest three-point shooters that we've ever seen. And I can't think of one person on that list that could have hung with him with three-point shooting outside of Larry Bird. And that's it. So he's definitely, I don't know if we want to throw him in the top 50. I think we got to go through the rest of this list to see. But I definitely think he's top 75. Ray Allen. Let's skip his picture. Oh, they just didn't have his picture. Huh, that's weird. Anyway, all right. So Ray Allen. Yeah, dude. Ray Allen is definitely what? Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, Larry Bird, Stephen Curry, greatest three-point shooters ever. So yeah, we got Ray Allen, definitely top 75. Gary Payton, definitely top 75. Why wouldn't he be? He got drafted in 91 or 92. So he would have only been in the league for 4 or 5 years at the time when this list came out. Dude was a defensive phenomenon. Like he locked people down. There's a reason they call him the glove. Tony Parker. Dude, I don't like San Antonio. They are probably number 2 on my most hated list right after the Pistons. But I respect them. Tony Parker was a baller. Should he be in the top 75? I would say so. I can't remember what San Antonio had 4 or 5 championships. He came over at what, 17, 18 from France? Yeah, man. Tony Parker probably top 75. Carmelo Anthony. He's still playing. He was drafted in 2003. The other night, he just became number 11 on the all-time scoring list. He's top 75 for sure. Paul Pierce, definitely top 75. Maybe, I don't know if I want to put him in top 50. Maybe top 50, maybe. I don't know. Allen Iverson, dude changed the game. With adding a little bit of street ball to it, that crazy crossover, AI should be in the top 50 of all time. Probably top 25 of all time. So he's on this list solid. Steve Nash, abso-freaking-lutely. What, he had 2 MVPs? Yeah, he's probably top 50. He's probably top 50. I would put him up there top 50 guard. He's better than Isaiah Thomas. We can debate that all day. He's better than Isaiah Thomas. Yeah, definitely. Dwight Howard. Ooh. Ooh. He's number 11 on this list. I don't know, man. Top 75? Okay, so, ooh, man. Top 75. I don't know. Maybe. Chris Paul, he goes on the list. Jason Kidd goes on the list. Somebody else, and I'm not sure because I didn't go through this complete list, but do we want to consider Grant Hill? Grant Hill came out at the same time. They were in the same draft class. Why not? Why would we not consider Grant Hill and Jason Kidd as like 2 of the greatest players of all time? Top 75. I think they're both Hall of Famers, so yeah. All right, Stephen Curry, guaranteed. Like, you saw the 3-point contest. You see him chuck up from like half court, like he's shooting from like, in the paint. Like, yeah, he's top 25. Yeah, I think we can say top 25. Durant, what? Top 10? Top 5. Can we? Yeah, so he's guaranteed. Dirk, guaranteed. I don't know, top 25, 20? Top 25. He's in there. Bottom line is he's in there for 75 for sure. Wayne Wade's in there for 75. He's probably in there for top 50. Kevin Garnett in there for probably top 50. Kobe. I mean, what do we want to really argue the GOAT situation? I mean, whether he's 1, 2, or 3, we can. LeBron, again, do we want to argue top 1, 2, or 3? Like, what? And number 1, Tim Duncan. All right, so I can't say Tim Duncan is the greatest player in the last 20 years, but is he top 5 or 10? Again, I don't like San Antonio, but I don't want to be biased. I have to put him in there. So if we're looking at like what the last 4 or 5 people, we'll put them in the top 50, but they're going to knock people out of the top 50. And we got 20 people here right now. So that puts us at, even if we kept the existing 50, that puts us at 70 players. So we can run and add 5 more people to this list that we may want to consider greatest of all time. Do we put Harden in there? Dominant scorer. Do we put Kyrie in there? Do we put Giannis in there? I mean, who else do we have? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like several. I mean, Damian Lillard could probably go in there. Russell Westbrook. That's what, 5 or 6? If we're at 6, does somebody get bumped? And not only that, will the new 25 or 30 or 35 names that appear on this list cause the card values to pop? Because how do you ignore somebody being considered one of the 75 greatest players of all time? Not just Hall of Fame, because there's a lot of players in the Hall of Fame. And just because honestly, I'm a firm believer, just because you're in the Hall of Fame, I don't see why your cards would skyrocket like that. Because, yeah, you're in the Hall of Fame and you did good for your time period. Cool. But to say that you're top 75 players, you're in the top 75 players of all time out of what, 2,000, 3,000 players that have played in the NBA over the last 40, 50 years, you're top 75. Like you can't, that is a phenomenal feat. And your cards should jump. We should see. I don't see why we wouldn't see a jump. And for me personally, I'm starting to stack up now on any player. You know who else wasn't in this list? Vince Carter. I would put Vince Carter in the top 75. Absolutely. There's a lot of players that should be in the top 75, but I don't think you can fit all the players that were in the top 50. Some of those guys must go. Gone. They can't be in that list. So I want y'all to think about it. You know, hit the like button, add your thoughts in the comment, subscribe to the channel, because I think when we get closer to this time period, we're really going to have to start considering this. So that does it for me. You guys, stay cool, stay positive, buy up these cards, because it's going to be hard trying to find anything that's going to grade a 9 or a 10 if you're trying to go raw and then flip, or even if you're looking for your own personal collection, trying to get 10s. I think we're going to see the boxes go up. So happy collecting. Talk to you guys later. Peace.